Arsenal came from behind to beat Brentford last night in the first game of 2025. Let's speak to Gary, who's an Arsenal fan. Hello, Gary.
Morning, guys.
Happy New Year to you, mate. What do you want to say?
I am over the moon with Arteta overall. I think where he's taken us to where we are now, I think that is amazing to be challenging for trophies every season, to be up there. Obviously we used to get mugged off because of the top four cup, but I think the way he's got us playing, I don't know, there's just an aura around the club, and I think that, yeah, of course trophies, we want to win the trophies, but there's not many up for grabs every season, and we've come up against a juggernaut like Man City for the last few years, and, I'm really pleased with what he's done, and, if we don't win a trophy this season, I'll be disappointed, but I'm still pleased with the direction we're going.
Gary, a couple of things, though. First of all, isn't it that you have to win trophies? That's the whole point of the whole revolution, right? So Arteta bought in to change the culture of the club, to make it more geared towards winning, and certainly they've got close to doing that. But Manchester United have won more trophies over the last couple of years than Arsenal have. And do they throw the pants off you? You said, I like the way they play. Do you sit there, you bum off your seat every time you watch Arsenal? Because I went to the Emirates on Friday, and it was okay. They got the job done, but they sort of managed the game out more than anything else. And the same last night, actually. The last 20 minutes of that game, I couldn't wait for the darts to start.
Well, you can't play like that in every game, and I think we've had some amazing games. I think, to be fair, I missed the game last night, but I swear I listened to talkSPORT and they said that it was an absolutely amazing first half. And
it was a good first half
for the Premier League.
Was, yeah.
But surely managing the game is part of being a good manager, because you can't go health level all the time. Listen, I'd like to see us attack and win 5-0 every week and pick up every trophy, but it's not possible because we've not got the squad for it, really. But overall, I'm pleased with how he's done. And yes, I'd like more trophies. Of course, you would. But there's not many, and how we pushed City over the last couple of years. And I'm hoping we'll push Liverpool again this season. And I'd love us to get to the end and win the league. That'd be great. But,
good luck, Gary. Okay, thank you very much, Crookster.
I was just going to say, there's got to be a tinge of disappointment that they're 8 points ahead of Manchester City, yet still adrift in terms of the title race. I think if you told Arsenal fans at the start of the season that at halfway stage they'd have that kind of gap over the champions, they would expect to be running away with it.
That's our Steve, who's an Arsenal fan. Hi, Steve.
Hi, guys. Great show. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, mate. What do you want to say?
Just listening to the last chat. Arteta's been at the club now 5 years. One FA Cup in 5 years is... FA Cup is romantic as it is, but with the money that Arteta's been backed by the boards. He does, for me, and probably a lot of other Arsenal fans, he does need to be winning the Premier League. I think the Champions League's probably a bit too far from us, I reckon. But if we don't win the Premier League this year, with how City are in the league at the minute, and for me it's a two-horse race at the minute. But if we don't win the Premier League this year, it's going to be an opportunity missed. I think it's going to remind me of the year that Leicester won the league. The big guns are pretty much out of the way at the minute.
Liverpool are pretty big guns.
I was going to say there's one big gun that are firing. You mentioned the Champions League there, that might be out of reach. I'm looking at the top 8. There's not much to scare you there. You look at the teams you've underperformed. Man City may be struggling to qualify for the round of 16. Real Madrid are 20th, so it's not guaranteed that they get there
Barcelona
either.
having a drop-off.
Barcelona
started well, but
second in the table, but again, I'm not sure they're the force of old. Liverpool, I think, will make the Premier League their priority. I wonder if the Champions League is a good opportunity for Arsenal this season.
Well, saying that, do you remember the year that I think Arsenal, they played Monaco, and I think Arsenal were favourites that year to win the Champions League. They had a really, really good run, but then I think they underestimated Monaco, lost at home, and then struggled, even though they got the result out of Monaco. So it's one of them things with Arsenal. You never know what you're going to get, and.
Four wins from 6 in Europe. Bearing in mind that particularly away from home, historically, you've struggled in the Champions League. I think it's been a good season in Europe.
There's a good opportunity there, I think, in the Champions League. How can progress mean nothing? Only one team can win the Premier League and each of the cups, obviously. So this hysterical got to win something from the media is sensationalist nonsense. Arteta is doing a great job. The team is great to watch. The trophies will come, says Mike. Over-reliant on corners, over 50 goals scored this season across all competitions, with 10 from set pieces. And since when did it not become an attacking advantage when you win a corner? We didn't say they were. I think we said they at one point this season they became over-reliant.
Yeah, there was a little
went
period.
For 4 games where they didn't score from anything apart from a set piece. On average, Arsenal win over 10 corners a game, so scoring 1 a game should be a minimum. Other teams ignoring the ability to score from a corner should be ridiculed rather than Arsenal. I do agree. I think Nicolas Javier has done a brilliant job in creating.
It's a bit much that he's got his own mural, though, isn't it?
I like the fact that he's created not only loads of different routines, but a bit of mystique about them.
And Liverpool are trying to copy it. You look at their corner routines now; they're almost identical.
What I just don't get is that how people haven't worked out how to defend them. That's what I just couldn't, especially last night, I couldn't believe that no one protected Mark Flecken. Manchester United won 2 cups under Eric Ten Hag. They haven't progressed. You can't use cup wins as a measure of progress. Fair. Most of the LFC squad have experience of missing out on the title by 1 point over 90 points. So I don't agree Arsenal players will be more determined or whatever. Arsenal fan here. No, we're not contenders yet again. Plus, even if we were, we would fumble it like normal. I got more chance of growing my hair back than us winning the league, says Luke in MK. Quickly, let's go to James, who's an Arsenal fan. Hello.
Hi, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. What do you want to say?
Good. Enjoy the show as always. I was just ringing up to talk about your comparison with Arsenal and Man United about the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup that they've won. Just wondering whose kind of shoes you'd rather be in, though.
Arsenal's by a mile.
Man United. Yeah.
Still nice to win trophies, though.
It is nice. It's always nice, but like you said earlier, Man City kind of juggernaut of a team.
But it's interesting that people say, I said that if you're going to build a club, what you want to do, and Arteta has been able to build the club right over 5 years, but you want something to show for that progress. Okay, it doesn't mean nothing, but you want something to show for it. It legitimises what you're doing in your approach. The last thing that Arsenal fans want, I would imagine, the last thing that Arteta wants is to have built this massive platform, right, that everybody is sort of all on board, pointing in the right direction, and then, I don't know, it to flounder one season, him to go off, and somebody else to come in and sweep up and take all the glory.
No, I completely agree. But at the minute, I think I'd probably keep him for another 5 seasons if we were playing how we're playing, competing like we are. You've got to remember the dark days we were in before he came in.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's been a revelation for us. Brought the club back together, brought the fans back together. And I think, if he was to go, if we didn't win anything this year, who would you look to bring in? Who is that manager that could take us to the
Listen,
next
I want him to win something. I like him.
You're a little fanboy.
I am. I do. I like him a lot. I get on with him. I think he's a good talker. He talks honestly. When you do post-match interviews, sometimes they're really difficult depending on the scenarios. I always find him quite not easy to deal with, but
he's quite
sensible.
short and sharp.
Short and sharp, but we can have a proper conversation. He's always very polite when he comes in. He's always very polite when he leaves. I've got a lot of time for him, and I think I actually think he's done a brilliant job.
He has. I agree with that, but 5 years in, I do think he needs something tangible to show for it, and it's a huge opportunity because of the drop-off at Man City, and I maintain there's got to be a little tinge of disappointment that they're still adrift in the title race.
And I think that would definitely be the case because of
the draws, isn't it? They've only lost 2 games.
Yeah,
draws.
They've been resolute. They don't look like they're going to lose, and they're defensively very, very good. But I do think they've sacrificed by spending so much money on defensive players. Something just at the top end of the pitch, have they just got exactly what they need?
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.